collision with purpose, in pursuit of purpose.
Greetings, friends of the A Collision with Purpose movement, and welcome to Bridging Generations, Voices of Men in the Changing World. I am Dr. Laxley Stephenson. This groundbreaking podcast delves into the multifaceted experiences of men across different generations. In an era where societal norms and expectations rapidly evolve, this show offers young and older men a unique platform to voice their challenges, triumphs, and perspectives.
I'm Xavier, Willcox, one of your hosts. Each episode aims to foster understanding and bridge the gap between generations, exploring the themes ranging from masculinity and mental health to career dynamics and personal relationships. By bringing together voices from varied age groups, the show sheds light on the commonalities and differences in the male experience, encouraging open dialogue and mutual learning.
So whether it's a teenager grappling with the pressures of social media or a senior reflecting on the changing definitions of manhood, Bridging Generations is committed to uncovering the real stories of men navigating the complexities of a changing world. I am Juan Marcel, one of your co-hosts for this wonderful show. Guys, what's going on? It's good to see everybody. Doc, what's new?
Man, what's new? If you look on the screen, you'll see what's new. Donna is on the screen. That's what's new.
D.L. Thompson.
DL. No, there's another name. Phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Donna is on the screen.
Phenomenal.
She's hanging out with the guys.
Phenomenal one.
So, Donna, what's up?
Oh, nothing. I'm just like excited that you guys have me on your platform this evening. So I feel special, real special that I'm in your presence because you guys you're awesome, doing great stuff.
You know, Donna is a producer of Bridging Generations, so it's her show, right? So she have us on her show every week. So she decided she's gonna come on this week.
Right.
We're privileged that you're allowing us to share the space with you, Miss Donna. We're thankful.
Wow. All right. So what's going on out there in this world, right? So many things happening. Oh, did you notice that O.J. Simpson?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. 76. Yes.
70. A battle with the dreaded C word, as we call it in my family, something that is unforgiving and does not discriminate.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. OJ moved on. The juice.
The juice.
Man.
Xavier's a little young, some of us in here are old enough to remember, Orenthal James running through an airport. Orenthal James running through an airport for a Hertz commercial,
Yeah, and he used to run up and down that field as well.
Yes.
Oh,
Kill
yes,
it.
yes.
Kill it. He was indeed the man, and then some things happened. But anyway, he did his piece, right?
Rest in peace. Yes.
That's
Yes. Yes.
it.
Peace. Yes. But we have big stuff to talk about tonight. Tonight, we're going to talk about legacy, building legacy. What is legacy, right? That's what we're going to talk about tonight. And that's why Donna wanted to be a part of this conversation. That's a big deal. That's a topic she's very much about, is building legacy. So it was a natural fit to have her on tonight.
Awesome.
Oh, that
Mm.
legacy.
Yes.
Legacy.
But what else is going on? Before we even jump on the legacy thing, what else is happening? How is the commitment going? How is the commitment going? How are we living up to our commitment?
Commitments are going well. Commitments are going well. The gift of service continues to be provided. Very soon, another outing will upcoming. There's for anybody watching. This month is it's Earth Month. Take care of the Earth. So, with regard to service, I would encourage anybody who's listening. If it's as small as you going to pick up trash, you starting to recycle for the remainder of this last 20 days of the month. I myself am going out with around 120 coworkers to clean up and plant trees along the Beltline in Atlanta. So if you have something to contribute to this earth, like I said, it could be small, but that gift of service, giving back to a planet that's providing you with air and fresh breath, go and do something. Like, go out. It's Earth Month. Go and help. Go and clean up. There's tons of places you could volunteer and give your service.
Yes.
So yeah, service is continuing strong into the second quarter of the year for me.
Awesome.
I love that.
Yes. And again, you're watching Bridging Generations, Voices of Men, and we're all about service here. All about service. So Xavier, what's happening with you, man?
Man, it's going good, going good. For those of you who do not know, my commitment this year was to say no and focus on myself. So in the selfish act that I decided to do a fitness type realm with it, with going to the gym. I'm starting to regret that. I've been I've been in the gym. It's been some very strong people in there. It's like, okay, look at the little old me. I'm struggling with it, but I've been doing pretty good with my commitment going to the gym. Not every day like I wanted to, but at least 3 to 5 days out the not 3 to 5, yeah, 3 to 5 days out the week, but getting back in with that. And I just all around just noticed a lot more energy amongst myself by going back to the gym and just being able to just think more and being more energized and relaxed for the day going on with my commitment.
That's good, man. That's
Like
good.
that. Consistency, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 to 5 days is amazing, man. That's amazing.
Just keep doing that, man. Keep doing it. We're going to stretch that a little bit, though, right? We're going to stretch this commitment piece. We're going to take it to another level. So we have some announcement to make tonight where that is concerned. But look at the comment there from Hilda Hibbert, my friend from Jamaica. And Hilda, you're always invited to come on and join us as well, because I know you have much to say. So just know that you're welcome. Let us know when you want to drop in and just participate and be a part of the conversation. All right. So we thank you for your comment. And Donna, say something to Hilda, because she's talking about you.
Oh, wow. Yes, definitely come join us, Hilda. It's great to be in the presence of these great young men. We all have a purpose and we all have a place at the table. So definitely join us. It's great conversation that's happening here. And it's always good to, hear different perspective. And like we always say, we're unfiltered and we're authentic. And it's all about results and building up each other. So definitely come and join us.
I don't know if it's just me, but I noticed that the internet is a bit choppy tonight. We're having some bad weather here in Atlanta. Are
Yes,
you experiencing
yes,
that?
yes.
So we want to just apologize to our viewers. We're having some real bad weather here, some thunder showers, and it's really bad out there. But we're going to continue anyway because we're here for a purpose. We have a purpose. So we will let nothing stop us, right? All right. So, yeah. So, Hilda, she said, thank you. You're welcome to come on. And we also have in the spotlight, if you can come on and join us there as well. Donna is the host over there. And over there, big things are happening as well. So, Juan, what's happening with your commitment?
Man, it's still underway. We're excited about this lock-in coming up, and I'm just excited, period. I'm always excited to work with youth and young adults. That's just my passion, my what tugs at my heart. So having any type of impact when it comes to young men and young ladies, it's a major move of my life, a major desire. So that's what I live for. So we're excited about this lock-in coming up. We have a couple of discussions. We're talking through what these discussion topics are going to be, something exciting for them to draw their attention, but not only just their attention, but their input, because we want to hear from them. And so that's what really this lock-in is about, is just to keep our ears to the ground, and just making sure that we're available to hear and see, so they know that we see them. That they matter, they have a voice. And so our biggest push this year is really pushing the notion that they have a voice, the understanding that they have a voice. So that's what we're leading with. So we're excited about that.
And what you're talking about is so deeply connected to the topic tonight, legacy. And you shared a video with me today, and we will play that video next week because we don't have it queued up, unfortunately. But can you share a little bit about the video of that gentleman who's in the video?
Yes, I shared a video with Doc. Was one of my mentees. He's a former student, doing well. He's an exceptional athlete, a natural talent, and he is a NFL prospect. And so they CNN and some other networks, they did like a short. When actually took them, he took them to his neighborhood, Lonsdale in Knoxville, Tennessee, where he grew up, and just was walking them through, just what the streets looked like when he was growing up. And just from my 9-10 years in Knoxville, that area is it's not always that safe, with these kids and these families they push through. It's one of those underserved populations, and so he was just walking them through that, and they was asking questions on how he got to where he is, and he's exceptional. I was working with him through high school, getting him into make sure he got into college, helping him get, make sure his grades and everything, his GPA was where it needed to be, so he could go on to play football in college, and he did well. As you can see, he's an NFL prospect, so he got it started, and we got the momentum going, and he just kept it going. He kept it going. He's doing well. I'm so proud of him.
Wow.
Love it.
We're also proud of him, and we're proud of you as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's good. Great job. Just keep doing it. You're inspiring us, and I know you're also inspiring our viewers as well. And that's what this thing is all about. So I made a commitment to, it's all about scholarships, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, helping students with their tuition. Excuse me. So helping students with their tuition, and that's going great. We're receiving monies from individuals out there, but I think there's a bigger story with that, right? There's a bigger story, because you can pay for tuitions and get kids into school. We also have to make sure that they're getting the right kind of education, right? And I believe that we here at the Collision with Purpose on this platform, and any individuals we're in touch with capacity, with the abilities and capabilities to make a difference, need to do that, and not just with money, right? So we decided, and we are going to move forward with a Collision with Purpose Learning Institute. Yes, we're moving forward with that. And we currently, the vision is to be a leading institution in empowering individuals to discover and pursue their life's purpose, resulting in positive impacts on themselves, others, and their communities. Right? And our mission simply is to provide a transformative learning experience that equips individuals with the tools, resources, and support to identify and pursue their purpose. So we'll be looking at programs like personalized coaching to empower individuals to live purposeful life and make meaningful contributions to society as well. So we're kicking that off. We register the organization. It will be a nonprofit entity. All right. So we're applying for our 501c3 status. So if you're out there and you see this as something that is important, join us.
Yeah.
This is not something we can do on our own by ourselves.
Right.
We're looking for support. Absolutely. We're looking for support here, there, and everywhere, because our program will not be restricted or limited to just Atlanta.
Yes.
Amen to that. Amen.
It'll be all over, and
the world.
We're looking at Jamaica, for instance, as a place where we'll be launching this program. There's a need there, so we will be in Jamaica. We'll be elsewhere. We'll be all over, But we will need your support. We'll need your support. So I'm going to ask my CFO, the CFO for A Collision with Purpose, to jump in on this.
Wow, I laugh and I smile because whenever it's something great, I can't help myself but just being, expressive of how happy I am. And this is just something that, as we know, A Collision with Purpose, we're all about really redefining people, helping them to align themselves with their purpose and living a full life, right? So, of course, with the scholarship that we're doing, it only made sense for us to go ahead and move forward with the Learning Institute, because we know that, yes, children are getting what they need in school in the sense of your math, your language arts, things of that nature, the basic stuff. However, there is a huge disconnect with knowing their purpose, aligning themselves with their purpose, and building on their gifts and talents that they were blessed with at a young age. And you're finding that more children, they're coming out of school, whether they go into college or wherever, and they're doing it because either they were told that this is what you need to do, or they feel that's what they need to do.
Yeah.
But they really don't know why they're doing it. And if we can capture, whether it's children, young adults at an early stage where we can help them to develop themselves to be more productive in their life, and going back to where they can leave positive legacies for their family, children to come. And they won't feel like they've lived an entire life. Now I'm in my 70s and I'm trying to find my purpose and I feel like I've wasted all my life, right? So that's a part of this Learning Institute, is being able to offer these programs, these classes, these courses, exercises to help us to where we can start aligning ourselves with really living our life purposefully and on purpose, based on our gifts and our talents, because we all have gifts and we all have talents. We just have to develop them. And that's where we're here to do that.
Absolutely. And just so you know, we're still in the scholarship business. This is just the next step.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a step that we're getting ready to implement this. We're not going to sit and wait for it to happen. We're going to be proactive and we're moving it forward. We've registered the company. We're working in the coursework and all that good stuff. So we're ready. We're ready. We need to set a date to launch it, and not just a virtual one. We intend to build some physical locations as well. It won't be just a virtual program. And we have earmarked our Jamaica as the first location to do this. Right, Donna?
That's right. We're on it.
Mm-hmm. So it's happening. It's happening. Juan, what do you have to say about this?
Man, I'm sitting here listening. This is so major. Of course, it touches my heart because there was an organization I used to work with, and their tagline was this: is when we would work to send our students to college, and be it technical, vocational, 2-year or 4-year. But the tagline was this: that they don't just go, they finish. Because we were seeing, just based on statistics, that especially in the Black and brown communities, that there was a overwhelming number of individuals that would go to college, but they would come home for various reasons. And so our push became to really work with them to ensure that they stayed. Retention, actually, even when I worked as a graduation coach, that was my main thing with the university I worked at, was retention, was retaining them, keeping them in the program and helping them make it through and push through to completion. So just the scholarships, that's one way, and just even the mentoring and the coaching, I like it because I wish I had, when I was young, and I don't mean adolescent, but even before then, younger than that, someone, just the ongoing conversation about helping me to discover what are your passions, what are your interests, what puts a smile on your face, where do you see yourself when you're an adult. Because as that conversation continues, it starts to make more sense, and the pieces start to come together, even in secondary education. When I'm taking classes or taking certain electives, I'm picking electives based on my interest, and having these assessments and stuff like that at an early age helps cut down or alleviate, like you said, Donna, the time it takes to discover what's your purpose to do. And not only that, but if you decide to go to college, it cuts down on time and money as well, because the longer you stay in school, the more money is spent. So,
I was having a conversation with Donna about, I think it was with Donna, and we're talking about when doing your doctoral program, and each of those 9,000 level classes are very expensive. So some of these schools keep you in school.
Yeah,
So it's a money-making business, right?
yes.
Time spent in school is money spent as well. Yeah. So it's a solid point you're making. Augusta, jump in on this, please, because I know you'll be playing a major role in this institute.
but I'm excited that it's doing the natural progression. Already seeing there was a need to be filled, of course, with the event, the book, and even this platform, doing actual front-facing engagement with people, with the community, providing the content, the information. So now, being able to not just do it online and virtually, but to go out and do the work in Jamaica with an old school brick and mortar where people can come in and get this information and grow on that information. I think this is the natural progression, and I'm very excited and elated to see how many people this impacts. Like that, I think that's the thing that gets me going. Not just the work of the idea of it, but understanding, like, let's see how many lives are going to be touched and how many people are going to be able to get better from this. So I'm super excited to see the outcome and the work and the fruits of the labor on the back end.
Absolutely.
I just received the text, right? And I said, man, that's a big commitment. It's just the next, it's the next piece, right? It's the next step. And that's a big commitment.
But it always, all greatness and great things always start with an idea,
Right.
A desire, a dream, and then next is the plan.
It's a little bit of imagination.
Yeah.
A little bit of imagination, a little bit of sweat. You do anything.
Yep.
And one of the reasons why we have staggered ages on here, right? Yeah, one older, one younger, is so we can pass on the baton, right? So looking at Augusta over here, not Augusta over there, and you have Juan, and then you have Xavier over there. He'll be at some point he'll be landing on him, right?
The young boy.
So, But that's exactly why this is called Bridging Generations.
Yeah.
Yeah, Voices of Men. Because if it was just all 55, 60-year-old on there, the perspective would somewhat similar, right? But because we have these, this difference and so forth, it's a good thing. And now we have Donna on, which is another good thing, right?
Yes.
And Donna had to be here for the announcement, of course. So she's the chief financial officer for the organization. So can't do it unless she signed off on it. She's gonna have to figure out the money. Yeah, but it's real stuff. Xavier, talk to us, please.
Yes, I'm so excited for this, and it's just like I said earlier. Well, not earlier today, but I'm getting all my Zoom calls mixed up. But it's just surreal to kind of be in this, and like for the legacy to kind of go through and to see. I'm just excited to see what the outcome is going to be of it. All the men that are gonna, and the just people, not just the men, but the people that are gonna have purpose and know what their purpose is and see where they're going to go with that and how they're going to be able to reach everybody. It's just going to be a whirlwind of just purpose, really. It's going to be amazing to see the outcome of it, and really to see all the lives that it impacts, because it's not just impacting the lives of the people that actually go through the institute, but the people that they see afterwards and how they're going to be able to reach out to everybody, and all that's going to come from that guy right there, just from that dream and just acting on purpose and doing it scared, as Juan would say, or just going through it and putting in the work. And I commend you on that, Dr. Stephenson.
Absolutely awesome, man.
Look to your right, commend Donna and Tremaine and Kiana. We're all there at the beginning. Augusta, Juan, and yourself. So it's everyone. We can all do a pat on the shoulder. Right? It's a team, right? It's teamwork, and it's coming together nicely. And there are other people involved as well, and they're not on these platforms, but they're doing just as much. We have I'll tell you this much: we have some solid support. We have friends who are behind us, supporting us, family members. So we're in a good place. We're in a very happy place. Right? And that's why it's working. We're in alignment with our purpose.
Yes.
That's why it's working. Yeah. So yeah, big stuff coming. I'm excited.
I can't wait.
Batman.
Things are already going through my head.
Oh yeah.
She's counting it up.
Mm-hmm.
You see, she's counting it up.
This is great.
And you've all said it. You can't wait to see the results. I know what the results are going to be. Because we have the results, then we build to the results, right?
Mm-hmm.
We know what we're building towards.
Yeah.
We know what we're building. And then once we get there, we're also not going to move the goalposts, always moving the goalposts, because there's no end, because it's not a destination, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a journey. And that's what this will be. So we know what our first step, where the landing is going to be, and then we know once we get there, what we have to do, the next thing, and the next thing. So it's ongoing. So it's a continuous process, right? Continuous learning, growing, and so forth. Yeah. So Donna, what else you want to add to that?
I just like we said, it's just a great thing, and the good thing is that we're all a part of it. And believe it or not, this is also a part of your legacy.
Yeah.
This is a part of your legacy in the making.
True.
So being a part of this is something great, because when your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, great look back, they can say, oh my gosh, my great uncle Augusta, or granddad, or Juan, or Xavier, this is the type of person that they were. I want to be like this. So you always want to think that you're in a space, and you may not see the end result, but you are already a part of it. You're a part of this whole thing in the making, and you're already building your footprints and leaving your footprints behind for generations to come. So, I commend you all as well for being a part of this program and saying yes. You may not, and it's so funny because you probably did not know, like, you didn't know what you were saying yes to. Dr. Stephenson asked you, you just said yes. You don't know what you're saying yes to, but because Dr. Stephenson asked you, you're going to say yes, right? Isn't that the great thing, though? But you were saying yes to your future and your legacy. And I commend you all for your yes.
Interestingly, tonight's topic is building a legacy.
Yep.
Yes.
And the real and true question, that's people use that word loosely, legacy, and sometimes out of context maybe. So let's talk about legacy. What is legacy?
I will say this to start it off, and I think the first topic we discussed, the first thing that was out of your mouth after we read the introduction, you brought up O.J. Simpson.
Mm-hmm.
I think today's news it speaks to what the definition of legacy is. At my age, I remember O.J. Simpson from the Naked Gun movies.
Naked Gun, yeah.
Yeah, I remember O.J. Simpson. I'm from L.A. He drove through the neighborhood, when that occurred. But my father is 74 years old. He remembers when he was, like watching him. Man, he watched him play. We know people from Oakland who are around that way who knew him in his youth and in his college years and junior college before he went to USC. And all of the greatness on the field, all of the accolades, all of the money made, all of the things. And sadly, even his family releasing a statement across all of their social media, they have to remove the comments. The Heisman Collective, they have to, be careful with what they say. The institution where he graduated from, where he donated millions of dollars, they have to be careful with wording it. And it's like, this is a man who exceeded expectations on the field, was a father. And one thing that people continue to bring up speaks more to his legacy than everything else.
Yeah.
So it brings you to a place where you think of, it's really not about your money. It's not about your house. It's not about the things that you could pass down. It's not about any of that. Your legacy is exactly what Miss Donna had just spoken about. Your legacy is what do we know you for?
Yep.
What is the work? What was your character? Who do you speak to? And even in the case of someone like OJ, acquitted, not guilty, but it still is attached to your name. You still walk around with that for generations to come, regardless of the outcome of that one trial. People won't talk about the yards or the records broken or the trophies or the houses or the commercials. He'll always be mentioned with that night and that trial. And that is what I think of as a father. What will people think of me, regardless of all the other things and whatever I leave my kids that's tangible? What are you going to say about me when I'm gone?
So, powerful, Augusta, powerful. Because a lot of times we talk about legacy as if it must be positive.
Yeah.
Clearly not.
Right.
So, now, what kind of legacy are you writing? Are you building? That's the question, right?
That's
Yeah.
right.
That is a question. What kind of legacy? What do you want others to say about you while you're still here?
Exactly.
Not just when you're gone. Right? Because you're living, right?
Yep.
Right.
And if you have the opportunity to write your story, how do you write your story? Based on how you live your life. What you do by the minutes, by the hours. That's your story. You're building it. You're writing it. That is your legacy, right? So if you go down the road, if you choose to go down, get to the fork and you make the left when you should go right, there's implications there for your legacy as well.
Yeah.
So It's real. It's real. Great explanation. Great definition, Augusta. I don't think you could have. It can be explained any better. And the example you gave is so powerful.
Absolutely.
So powerful. So we're talking about legacy, right? But I believe we should take a quick break, and when we come back, uh, Xavier, Juan, Donna, you'll jump in on the topic, because for us, it's all about building a legacy, and that's exactly what we're doing on this platform here. This is part of our legacy as well. So let's take a quick break and come back. Donna, can you take us out on a quick break?
Sure.
A collision with purpose, in pursuit of purpose.
All right. That music had me going. Almost went into the screen. All right. So welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. So we're talking about legacy, right? We're talking about legacy. But before we get back on that topic, we have some announcements, right? A big one. Let's talk about A Collision with Purpose presents a colloquium. February of next year. Donna, you want to take that on, and Augusta jump in on that as well?
February 25th.
24th.
24th, because I'm getting the year. February 24th, 2025. I will be short, concise, and simple. If you missed this year, because you missed it, not because you missed the day, you missed it because you missed an epic event, an awesome opportunity to network, recognition for people who are doing actual work effective in their community. So you missed that. You don't have to miss it again. There are tickets available right now in the link. You could email anyone here. You could DM, Facebook, Instagram, and have an opportunity. I would highly suggest purchasing the tickets now as opposed to waiting until the last minute, because the tickets are going to sell, because the event is going to be 10 times greater than it was this year. And this year was a hell of an event. So grab your tickets now and be ahead of the game. Be ahead of the game.
Yes.
Go
ahead, Juan. Go ahead.
I was just saying, don't miss it.
Yeah.
Life changing. Life changing.
Yeah, it really is. Like, well, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. I'm still getting feedback from people from all over, people who attended, and those that didn't attend with regrets.
Yep.
I wish I was there. But guess what? 2025, right? February 24th. It's gonna go down. It's gonna go down. And Donna, put this thing together. I don't know if she knew she had that kind of talent because it was above exceptional what she
Right.
did. It really was. It's so polished, it was so
It's
put together.
phenomenal.
It was I just knew from seeing the way it was ran and how it was set up and the presentation, the placement. I was like, oh, this is someone who's been doing this for years. This is absolutely a high-end professional who was like, I can work this. And it was a high-end professional and somebody who was modest enough to say, this isn't really even my lane. I was like, no, this is in your wheelhouse. This is your lane.
Yeah, and quite a lane to be in. It's the right lane. It's the right lane. So that's coming up. Tickets are on sale.
Right.
The auditorium, the theater, I believe the capacity is 450. It will be a sellout. I have no doubt about it. We'll have standing room. So I wouldn't want to miss it. I'm not going to miss it. I'll tell you that much. I will be there. Who's it that say, I'll be back?
not
Schwarzenegger.
not the Terminator.
The Terminator, I'll be back. So yeah, fantastic job. Yes, indeed. So that is coming up. We're also writing some more books, by the way, and I expect we'll have 3 books out this year. I'm not going to give them away.
Come on, 3.
He said, come on, 3.
I said, come on, 3.
Yeah, release that trifecta.
A Collision with Purpose will publish 3 books this year, and they will be powerful. We'll have volume 2 of A Collision with Purpose in Pursuit of Purpose. Volume 2. We're interviewing participants, collaborators for that book right now as we speak. We can only use 18. So if you believe you have a story to tell, give us a call, reach out to us, DM, whatever you want to do, get in touch with us. That will be coming out when is that coming out, Donna? That will be coming out for the event. Book will be ready for the event.
Around January, I believe.
Around
January or February.
And why are these books important? We're talking about the Learning Institute, right?
Right.
$5 from each sale is going towards our scholarship fund. That's why these books, one of the reasons why they're so important. Just one. So 2 other books coming out. I'll leave that alone for now, but they're coming. I expect they're coming in June, July, Donna, and when? And September, something like that.
Yeah. One September, one is in like June, July.
Yeah.
A book a quarter. Quarter.
And the good thing about these books, each member on this panel will have the opportunity to participate. We're keeping it together as a family, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And another big announcement, that I do daily insights. Donna will be doing her version of, not going to give away the name again, but that will be coming out starting next month. We're going to roll it out as well.
Hit subscribe in advance. Okay.
Subscribe.
Donna is doing it.
Yeah, Miss Donna's
have
busy.
no choice now.
Donna is moving in 2024.
Doing it all.
It's
extraordinaire.
It's the work. It's the work.
All the hats.
You can only achieve if you're doing the work. And we're talking about legacy, right? How do you build that legacy unless, someone said I might get my own podcast.
Come on, Tremaine.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking with her about. Listen.
So
let's go, Trump.
That's what it's all about, right? It's about doing the work. And Do it right and get it done.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not doing it for you.
No.
The work must call you, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're talking about legacy. We're talking about legacy. And why is legacy important? Augusta gave a powerful definition of what is legacy. So why is legacy important?
I believe legacy is important because, like you said, it's pretty much whatever the opinion of what people think of you once you're gone. What the Bible says in Proverbs 20, verse 7, it says, "The just man walketh in his integrity, his children are blessed after him."
Yep.
So if you're going around doing everything that you're supposed to do and everything, your children will reap the benefits that are after you. And that can be in the fiscal, the financial aspect of it. That could be in the emotional, the spiritual, the just their own personal relationship. And you kind of have to take into effect with everything that you're doing, and you can't really get too caught up on what people are thinking of you, but you still have to think about it at the same time, because once you're gone, do you want people thinking of the bad situations that you had going on? Do you want them to remember you for all the good things that you did? Because like what they say is that it takes one good thing to clear off the 10 bad things, or I forget how the analogy goes, but yeah,
Flip it.
10 bad things to clear off the one good thing. Yeah.
Right.
But it takes all that to put in the good, but it's easier to just do the good thing instead of just doing the bad. But like I was
Yeah.
saying with legacy, you want to be able to have the generations to come to live up that good name that you put ahead in your presence and to their future.
Yeah. So important, right? Because when you plant, you're not necessarily the one that will reap.
Yep.
Mhm.
Right.
So when you plant a seed, as a positive seed, a seed that is going to empower others and do good things by others, then it is likely that your children, their children, will be the beneficiary of that, reaping that good, that blessing, right?
Mhm.
So, another reason why doing right, building the right kind of legacy is important. And just be a good human being while you're here. It's all part of writing the story that you want to be told about you. Yes. So Xavier, you have so much writing to do, so much building to do. Lots of it. What I think, last week we touched on a year from now, right? That's the thing, right? A year from now,
Mm-hmm.
what will my life look like? Again, it's connected to legacy, right?
Right.
A year, you're just going to have a benchmark a year from now as you build your legacy. A year from now. So we had asked that the panel here, and this is something personal for us, and if you're viewing this program, it's something you should probably consider as well, because we're challenging each other and we want to see each other grow beyond where we are. So we decided that we'll do a year from now challenge. Is that what we'd call it? Let's call it that. A year from now challenge, where 1 year from now, Augusta should be at a place in his life where it's noticeably different. Not just Augusta knowing that. Us on the watching him and observing him also recognize the difference.
Right.
Right? Same thing applied to Donna, to me, to Xavier, and to Juan. So Juan, why is legacy important?
Well, it's to me, it's the mark that you make on the world, right? It's how you're remembered. But they see this mark or this lasting impression through your actions, what you contribute to society, relationships that you build. And I honestly believe that it inspires future generations, right? I think it informs or it even guides and directs future generations. I think there were things that I'll say this about my mom. Part of her legacy, you know, she's always been helping people and always wanting to strengthen women in her community. And I grew up watching her take women in, whether it be cousins, her nieces, you know, people from church that she worked with, whomever it was, and she was willing to give them the shirt off her back and just whatever they needed, whether it was education, you know, some help, support, whatever it was. And I see the three, myself, and my two brothers, in some form or fashion doing the same thing in our life, because that was her legacy. You know, you help the next man. And now I can go anywhere, and it's crazy, you know, as for Atlanta to be such a major city, it's really small. And I kid you not, and anytime I go somewhere, just the other week I was standing somewhere, I forget where I was, and I was actually reading something. I felt this one, I could see him from my peripheral. This woman kept walking past me, and she's holding her chin, and then she looks and she's just staring. So I just happened to look, and she said, "Juan?" And I said, "Yes, ma'am." She was like, "You're Sean's son." I said, "Yes, ma'am." She was like, "Oh, I love your mom." You know, I was going, she started sharing what she was going through when she met my mom. And your mom did this for me and my family, and da 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 da. And matter of fact, I was purchasing something. And she's like, "What is that?" And I was telling, she was like, "It's on me." And that's happened so many times. It's not just monetary, but so many times I've gone places and someone's like, "Yo, is your mom Sean?" I'm like, "Yes." Tell your mom and say, "Hey, don't worry about it. We got you." You know, and I think that's part of just her legacy, because she's left a lasting mark and impression just on so many people's lives. People are just willing to just give to her offspring, to the generation after her, and they do the same thing for her grandchild, my daughter. Whenever they see him, whether it's money, buying her ice cream, taking out, whatever it is, because of the mark that she left and the impact that she has and had. You know, so I think this speaks to how you inspire, you know, people through what you contribute to society and the relationships that you build, and just like you said, how you live your life. People are paying attention, and it matters. It matters. It makes people look back, like you said earlier, Don, and say, "You know what? This person did this. I was inspired, or such and such was inspired by that. I want to do the same thing or be the same type of person." So I think it informs the next.
The next, absolutely.
Powerful.
See, I watch Donna as she go about her daily life, and she's always feeding people, elderly. It's almost like she's looking for people to feed. People who are in need and need to be fed. And so, Donna, share your perspective of legacy.
Oh wow. I mean, I agree with everything that, you know, you all have said. And I think one thing that you touch on, Juan, is about how you're treated based on how your mom treated other people. And I think that's very important for people to understand about legacy as well. It's not the tangible things that you have to pass down, but your character passes down.
Yeah.
Right? Because someone at some point, they're going to look and say, "Oh, that's Miss Sean's son." Now, if she didn't live right, they're going to attach you to that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Oh, that's Miss Sean's grandson, granddaughter. If she ain't live right.
Yeah.
So as we're living, it's important for us to know that it's not just the tangible things that we're leaving for our family, but it's our character or behaviors or beliefs that we're also imparting on the generations to come, and how society will treat them and react and behave towards them. And the kindness that we show today, our generations or children will reap the rewards of our labor. So those things are important.
I agree.
Yeah, very, very important. Very important. And we have someone agreeing with you, Donna, and as we all do, you know, character is so important.
But I even think it's in the name as well.
Yes.
I think that, you know, your name being great and having a great name and a great reputation it carries a lot of weight. It carries a lot, you know, even as like we're talking about a legacy, something that transcends time, right? That transcends a lifetime, like what goes on after you're gone. And your kids and their kids and their kids are able to walk in that because there's something they're born into. What comes to mind of the kings, you know, Martin Luther King did what he did, and even before that, what people don't often talk about is his dad and his father-in-law. You know, A.D. Williams, you know, was very instrumental in just the city of Atlanta. You know, a lot of the projects that were built when they were actually, you know, good, how affordable housing was because of A.D. Williams. You know, and so a lot of the stuff that Martin Luther King came up and carried on was because of his father and his granddad and his father-in-law, you know, and then his kids, you know, and so we see that. And so when you hear a king, you automatically just assume that it's something dealing with, you know, civil rights, you know, social injustice, you know, some economic or some type of empowerment, you know, because that's what's attached to the king name. So I think it's in the name as well.
Yeah, like when you're growing up, they'll say, "Don't shame my name."
Yeah.
No, I mean it to Juan's point, earlier in the year, Tremaine and I had a chance to go to the annual, the annual banquet and award ceremony given at the King Center, and had a chance to, hear Bernice King, his daughter, speak. And in the event there, you see all of these people come in, and I think it was you get to see Chelsea Clinton probably was the person who there were celebrities there, but I was like, I was like, Chelsea Clinton, like the former president of the United States of America, his daughter is in here, recognizing like the King family, their work. And I'm saying to myself, I said, this is the legacy of this man. And as you even said, his father-in-law and his dad, that name going to all these generations to where now you have all these people in the room with for no other reason to say, we're here because we know you guys have a history of the work. Like it's not new, it's not tarnished. Y'all have a history of the work, and we're in here to celebrate this because of this history of work. And I'm like, to be able to establish that and to have that with your name. And I know Xavier, you're not in the game yet. I hope you wait, but I know Juan, Doc, even as parents, as we're also talking fatherhood this month, that ability, your name. Your name means a lot. Not necessarily, there's nothing you could do with your name once you're gone, but what's attached to your kids. I agree with Juan. I had a mother who was very active in the city and in civic work, and times where I ran into possibly people who may or may not have worn badges for the city of Los Angeles, and them just being like, aren't you Pam's son? And me being like, oh my God, like, they're like, well, I'm not going to get you in trouble, but I'm going to take you to your mother. Times where I think I've said this before, man, I'd rather y'all can take me to jail. Don't take me to Pam. Like, take me to jail. Don't take me to my mother. But even in those, her name being able to intercede for me is like, that name means a lot. That name means a lot.
Just for clarity, Xavier, are you a parent? Are you a father?
No.
Just checking. Just checking.
Wait a while.
He was nodding his head at first. I was like, wait a minute, we missed that.
I just want to make sure. Wait,
Xavier,
make sure.
Wait.
We're talking about names, right? And your name can be just as big as his name.
Yeah.
Right.
I want to leave that with us right here on this topic in terms of legacy. Great king, name is powerful, but your name can be just as powerful or more powerful. There are opportunities out there for you to do just as much or more. The needs are out there.
Yeah.
True.
Right? So as we talk about, and rightfully so, because of the work that Dr. King did, I'm also saying the opportunities are out there to carry on his work and take it steps further.
Yeah.
Right? So name is important, but let your name be the name. 5 years from now, 10 years from now, that they're talking about. That's why when we say we're going to lift this up, take this to another place, when we're building legacy. And your legacy should be just as impactful on the world as his legacy and any other persons out there, for that matter. So let that be the focus. What he did, you can do and more.
True.
Because you're living today. You're alive today. It's your time. It's your turn to deliver. So if you want to celebrate Dr. King's legacy, go out there and do the work.
Yes.
True.
Right? Build yours.
Yep.
Facts.
Right? So names are important, but your name is the name right now. You're on deck. You're facing that fastball, right? That curveball. It's your turn.
You know,
Makes
there was a question my former pastor used to always ask. He's he's passed since then, and but he would always say this. He would say, "When you die, would it have mattered that you lived?" He would always challenge us with that. When you die, and he always says, you know, of course, the day you were born and the day you die are significant days, but what really matters is what you did in between.
That dash.
Does it matter that you lived, you know? And so I think I was been hearing that since I was 13. So that's always been a question resonating, just echoing in my head, like, when you die, would have mattered that you lived. And I want to say yes. So everything I do, I'm committed to. So some, not just me saying yes, but then like you said, Doc, you know, others saying, yeah, it mattered that he lived. This is why.
You know, today is your day. And tomorrow will be your today. If you're blessed to be here tomorrow, it is today is always your day to deliver, to do it, and to do it. And what you did yesterday, it's important to learn from. But it's about today. When we're talking about building legacy, right? You build your legacy today. And you know, it's always today.
In the now.
Not today.
Exactly.
In the moment. What you said last week, maximizing the moment.
Maximizing, leveraging.
Yes.
Leveraging the opportunities that you have. And there are many opportunities out there. And I don't think we're doing enough of it. And that's why we're talking about legacy. And that's why we decided that each month we will take one show to have these type of discussions where there are no guests on. It's just us talking about life, our children's life. Because we're talking about what I think was it Juan, you said your parents and what they did and you're following in their footsteps. The question is, what are we doing to make sure our children are focused on their legacy? For me, that's the key. But that's the now. That's the today.
Yeah.
How are we supporting them, guiding them?
Yeah.
So they're positioned to build a legacy bigger than yours, greater than yours, more impactful than yours. I think that's the real story.
That's the goal.
You know, it made me think of this, to share this short story of Savannah. My daughter, you know, she was in cheer camp this past summer. And, you know, I'm always telling her, I was like, you know, Savannah, wherever you are, you know, you're a light, you know. And I said, the biggest thing it matters is that we always represent the underdog, those who don't have a voice or haven't found it yet. You know, we have to help them, you know. So I've always said this since she was little. So of course she's 9, and so she's at cheer camp. So she comes home and she's just upset. She was like, Dad, today we had some other cheerleaders come from a different camp and they're older and they're more experienced. I said, well, how'd it go? And she's like, well, you know, a friend of hers was doing attempting the cheers, you know, that the older girls came to teach them. And she wasn't that coordinated like everybody else. So they started laughing at her and, you know, talked about her. And so I said, well, what did you say? She said, I told them, and, you know, you got to know Savannah, you know, she has this little soft voice, but she was just like, I don't appreciate you talking about my friend. She said, she's just learning the cheers. So give her a chance. If you can't appreciate that, then you guys need to go somewhere else, because I'm not going to allow you to talk about her like that. And I was like, I looked at her, I said, okay, Savannah, that's good. You stood up here for she said this. She said, Dad, you're always saying that we have to support and represent the underdog, or for those who are not able to speak up for themselves. She said, so I felt it was my responsibility to speak up for her. She said, because I didn't like how they were treating her. And then I knew,
Mm.
caught it. It wasn't me drilling it. She's the one who made the decision
In
when
the
she was,
moment.
and then she was able to say, this is why I did it, So it made me think of that when you were talking about what are we teaching our kids, what are they, what's being instilled now. So that was a proud moment for me, because I'm like, yes, it's all about, representation and just and work and helping those who are in need.
It's okay if you cry too. It's all right if you cry. It's all right if you cry, brother, because that was
you might share maybe one, maybe two.
But in those moments, like it's fatherhood, it's legacy, and I talk with a buddy of mine who has a relatively large social media following. I always say, look, man, I rather have the impact than the impressions. So even with your kid, to see like your daughter, that regardless of you being dad and all of that, in that moment, her being like, what he's been saying is right all of that time, and to be able to hear it out of her mouth, that the impact that you've made on her, like legacy is the foundation is there, man. It's going great. As a father to father, I love to hear that, man. I love it.
Appreciate it.
Legacy. We're talking about legacy, and what a topic, right? So important, and it's who we are. And often you will have a legacy, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
It can be the legacy that you don't want to have. So if that is so, be purposeful about your legacy. Be intentional about your legacy, right? And make sure that the legacy that you are building, creating, is one that you will be proud of.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. And we know what that means, right? We know that being proud of something, that something is going to make such a huge difference for others as well. We want to do something in this segment. We have a birthday shout out. All right. So I'm going to bring her up on the screen, and we're going to say happy birthday. And this time it's my niece. All right. We're going to give her a big shout out, right? We'll take our turn.
Happy birthday, Dee.
Happy birthday.
I want to say happy birthday, and I want to say something about Dee. One of my real favorite niece, big time, supporter. We just have an awesome relationship and very encouraging as well. So just want to say happy birthday to Dee. And by the way, Dee is one amazing photographer. Yeah, you can go over her Instagram page and you will see some powerful stuff. And she's an amazing traveler as well. She's committed to just go to as many countries, and she'll go there by herself and just go do it, go visit it. And so, full of curiosity and just want to live, and is living her best life. So happy birthday, Dee.
Happy birthday, Dee.
All right. So, all right. So, Donna, if you notice, Dee is your namesake. She's a Thompson, so somewhere along the line, y'all are related.
Somewhere along that line, right?
Yeah, had to do that. Dee is such an awesome support of everything that we do, everything. So, so if and this is for all of us here. If you have someone that is out there doing, whether it's their birthday or they're doing awesome work, we're not going to wait for the colloquium to recognize them. We need to recognize them in real time for the work they're doing. So let's keep an eye out, look out. Who is out there doing big stuff? Let's recognize them. Let's give them their flower, right? Now, today, because we're in the today business, right? We're in the today business. So let's take a quick break and then come back, and then we'll talk some more about legacy.
All right.
A collision with purpose. In pursuit of purpose.
Right. Welcome back to Bridging Generations, Voices of Men in a Changing World. So, Juan, you know, share with our viewers. Tell us about your podcast. You have a powerful podcast out there.
Yes, well, it's been now changed to Conversations with Juan Marcel. I just simply share um conversations I have with myself and with God, just revelations I get from things I'm either going through or have gone through, and just what helped me just get through it, what empowered me. And I just share those conversations. And it's honestly, the whole do it scared. I've been sitting on this stuff maybe 2 years now, and I would always talk myself out of like, nobody wants to hear you or everybody, whatever it was. And then January came, I said, you know what? I don't care if one person hears it. I'm gonna do it anyway, and that's all that matters. If it's just an audience of one, I'm okay with that because I'm gonna put it out there. And what's interesting is the algorithm, just even with TikTok. I started with TikTok, and that it reaches an audience that they don't necessarily even have to follow you. I will get a lot of responses and following from people in different countries and cities in the states. I don't even know. So it's honestly, I put it out there just to share, but it has definitely built that confidence and that esteem. So
That's dope, man.
Good.
All right.
Congratulations.
I gotta subscribe. I gotta subscribe.
Powerful stuff. Yeah. And so, you want to share the YouTube link? Your YouTube link?
yeah, so it's of course my company name, Improve You.
Prove you. Right. Put
Improve.
it in the chat if you can. Put it in the chat if you can. We want to get that information out there because the kind of conversations, it's just powerful stuff. Because what I'm finding too with Daily Insights, I'm getting people from all over the world jumping on Daily Insights. And these are people you don't know. You'd have no clue who they are, but yet they're making comments and you're reaching them, the algorithm. It's just amazing how that thing works. And with that, the subscribers are growing. And this month, I picked up over 100, just to tell you how fast that thing can move if you just put it out there. So don't hold back. You have something to say it.
Do it.
Do it. Make it happen. That's why Donna going to be kicking hers off. And Augusta, you have your podcast as well. You want to share what that is all about?
Yes, it's in the bio there, Man Talk Monday podcast. I refer to it as a weekly podcast for daily dads. I work with a lot of other fathers who I know, and we just have conversations that not necessarily a barbershop conversation, but a lot of conversations that men at times don't get to really have, talk of, marriage, talk of, how to deal with miscarriages, the importance of having a really good counsel and friend group. We talk about, divorce. By the way, if you go to my social media, you can also purchase my book, The Divorce Dad Reset. But every topic that, as a father and as a man, just in general, you would think of and want to have, we have those conversations. So yeah, tap in, man. Tap in.
Man, that's major. Gotta subscribe. I gotta support.
Awesome. Share a little bit more about the Divorce Dad, your book.
So The Divorce Dad Reset was actually the first book I ever wrote. It was short, sweet, and to the point, and similar to like a lot of other things I do. It was God telling me to do something, and like what Juan had just said. I was like, no one's gonna buy this. And I remember having a dream, and God was like, who I didn't tell you about anybody buying it. I told you need to write the book, and it was write the vision and make it plain. So I decided to just write a short book about concepts and keys that a lot of men don't get when you go through divorce. I tell people, I talk to a lot of men now, coworkers, family members, relatives, associates, and they say, man, how can I get through? First I tell them, I'm like, look, man, just go get my book. But then in those conversations, I tell them, things that a lot of times you don't get on that exit out, not necessarily the advice, but the insight on ways to prepare and things that you really have to acknowledge and accept upon that paperwork and that separation. So I wrote that book out of a place of pain, and it sold way better than I thought. And that's really been a blessing, because having people who aren't family, who just bought it to buy it, reach out and say, hey man, I bought your book, and they actually like some of the keys in there really helped me through some things that I'm going through like right now in the process. So it's been awesome to know that the work helped people. So that it's been very cathartic. It's been a blessing.
Awesome. And I'm looking at Xavier as you're talking, because I know there's a book coming somewhere.
Book on the way. X gonna give it to you. X gonna give
He
it to
lost
you.
his voice for a moment.
He froze, literally.
That was the internet.
That was not the internet. Not too sure about a book coming just yet, but I definitely see some stuff coming in fruition. I'm working on some things on the more tangible aspect of it. I'm looking on not necessarily starting, but reviving a male mentoring program called Boys of Valor at my church. It's where we teach young men how to be men of valor. So going on the spiritual realm with it, teaching everyday tasks, like not necessarily everyday tasks, but the rugged tasks that you used to get money from, like cleaning gutters, cutting grass in people's yard, teaching young men how to fish, campfires, pitching tents and stuff like that, and also just how to be a guy in today's world, and trying to go through looking at how to use social media, because we have to be real with ourselves. Our kids now, they're going to start wanting to use social media more, how to do that in a safe way, how to not look at comments and stuff like that. And just that's where now, hopefully with that, after I get this little aspect of my life done, we might see a book in the near future, but but we're still in the fresh realm, Abby. I'm still doing my work.
We'll talk about
Wow.
Tales of Valor, the Xavier story. I'm all about it.
That's the book right
Copies,
there.
man. Listen.
Sounds like a book to me. And don't give Donna any ideas, because she'll have you writing a book in a minute.
Man, look.
I'm happy I'm here this evening, because I heard it.
So believe this. We have right here with us international best-selling author, Miss Donna L. Thompson. Donna,
International.
you share a little bit about one of your books with us?
Oh wow. Sure. So I think
Yeah, we
so
put you on the program.
yeah, so I've never, just like Augusta, right? I've never thought of writing. Like just like you said, like who's gonna want to hear what I had to say? Da da da. However, my first work that I did when I first got international best-selling author was a story about the relationship with my dad, who have since transitioned, is no longer here. But it was something like, I kind of like played with it. I wanted to write the story, it was in my heart, but I wasn't sure if I should write the story. So you kind of keep going back and forth, back and forth. However, I think the Lord just kind of put it on me that you needed to put it out there, because it was not necessarily for me, but it was for whomever needed to hear this story. And so that was the first thing that I wrote. It was a little bit nerve-wracking, of course, because it's my story, right? It's my story. But I was happy that I wrote it. And once the book launched and we had a book launch and everything, there were some dads that was there at the book launch, and some of the comments and feedback I got was they never thought and they never saw how important and how impactful they were to their daughters, how much that relationship, what it really meant. It was kind of like, you're being a parent, you're doing the thing of a parent, the discipline and all that stuff, but they did not necessarily realize all the other things outside side of that, how that really impacted their girls. Same thing like moms and dads, right? Same kind of relationship. So that was the first thing that I wrote. And then I wrote another story after that received best-selling author. I wrote another story after that, basically as an immigrant, coming from Jamaica to America, and what I went through, living, kind of like coming from a place where my mom, we were living okay. We were living pretty good. We had our house and all that stuff. And then, we came here, and then the life here was not as pleasant. So, a lot of poverty and things of that nature ended up happening. So I told that story as well. So sometimes some people think like immigrants that come here, you're coming from a really bad place and then you're coming here and it's going to be great. But sometimes it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Right? Sometimes it's a little bit different. You're at a, you don't know, you think, right? You think the grass is greener on the other side, and you make that transition for different reasons, and it may not have been the best, right? However, no regrets, because here I am today. Right. So it was definitely the path that I needed to take. And then I have another book that's coming out in May of this year. So that one it's in the final, we're in the final stages of putting all that together. So and then I'll have something else coming out next year.
And then there's Hurting You and more books coming.
Yeah.
So very much an established international best-selling author within our midst. So if you need advice and so forth, who better to get it from than
Yes.
in your circle? So
Amen.
Xavier,
I got work to do.
Xavier, you gotta get on this. You gotta get on this book, man.
Yeah. You got to get it right.
It's just me and you, Zay. We got work to do.
We got to put pen to paper.
Yeah.
and we're talking about legacy, right? And what a great place to record your legacy.
That's right.
And it really is, because when I wrote the first work, and then when we had the publishing and all that good stuff, and my son went with me and he saw the banner and he actually saw the book and my photo, he's like, oh wow. He's like, you're an author. And he's like, oh, I want to be an author now.
Yeah.
So you'd be amazed, right? You doing these things, it may not seem like it's a huge thing. And a lot of times, it's not necessarily the financial aspect of it, but what you're teaching your children, that legacy, that, you're showing them that you too can do this. You too can walk in this footstep. You can be great. You can do all these things. Just like, you being an example as a parent. So you definitely be amazed of, what you're teaching your children, right? How to take chances, how to step out, right? Have that idea and just step out and do it. Yeah.
You saying it, Don, I even think, when I do some workshops and stuff, like in panel discussions at parent workshops, and one thing I always share with parents is that you are the standard. You're their standard. How their outlook on relationships, on self-identity, self-esteem, religion, life, all of those things are set by you. And so what they believe that is possible is by watching your example. So, that is something I always share with parents, that you're their standard,
That's it.
And I remember Eric Thomas was a great motivational speaker. I was first started in education, and we used to play it I was assistant track coach at the time. And that's where I heard it from. He was like, he dropped out of high school. Teachers tell him he wasn't going to make it. He was in the streets. All this other stuff. Now he is a motivational speaker, a big time motivational speaker, and a doctor. Right. But he said this, he said, so I set the standard for my sons. He doesn't have to be a doctor, but if he ever decides that he wants to become one, he knows that it's possible. And so when he said that, I was like, yes, we're the standard, so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. All right. Got a little messed up there with the internet, but we're back. All right, so we're talking about building a legacy. And again, writing, stretching yourself, stretching your mind, just take yourself out of your comfort zone.
Right.
Really, because you can live, you can stay there, it's safe, but will you get the results you need? How impactful will your life be? Will your story be if you plan to just reside where it's comfortable? We got to step out, right? We got to step up. I'm watching the clock there, and I noticed that we're at 1:27. So we must close it out.
We're up against it.
Great conversation about building legacy, and we will continue this conversation once per month because this is what we commit to do a year from now. And it's all about the work that we'll be doing, the goals that you're setting is all leading to one thing, building your legacy. So the next time we meet, we're going to define it a little bit more, what that legacy is going to look like.
Yeah.
Right? Because we're going to be intentional. We're not going to just do it and hope it happens or something happens.
Right.
We're going to do it. And it's okay if we're doing it and we say, oh, that's not the right thing. We can switch and turn it somewhere else, right? But next time we meet, we're going to be a little bit more definitive about what that legacy is all about. That sounds good?
Yes,
Sounds good.
Not next time, 1 week next month. The next time we meet, we will have a guest on, by the way. So, but we will schedule that because this will be part of our program. We will have this dialogue where we're just talking about legacy. Sounds good?
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
So we need to close out. So let's do what we call closing argument. Who wants to go first?
I'll go. What about our distinguished guest?
No. We were going to save her for last.
Save the best for last. Okay. I'll go. I will definitely go. I just want to say that man, you get the opportunity to tell your story. Your story matters. It's the difference between someone trying to figure out if they can make it or not. And you sharing your story, your life examples, your experiences, it inspires other people. It's people watching you anyways, you don't even realize. So your story matters. So tell your story.
Thanks.
Tell your story. All right, who's up?
I'll go before the young man. I believe every week now, I just love the book of Proverbs. Proverbs 13:22. A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children. When you read it in the Message Bible, it literally says, the good deeds get passed down to the grandchildren. So your name is part of your legacy. Do the work. Make sure your name is honorable. Make sure it comes attached with character and love and work. And yeah, man, be blessed. If you're a father out there, leave a good inheritance. Leave a good name for your children.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say it like this: you only get one life, and you got to live it to the best. You can't take what you have with you right now when you pass on. But like how Juan said, how his pastor said, if is it worth living? I don't want to mess up the quote because it was so powerful. But if is it worth living when you? Can you say it one more time? I don't want to mess it up because
when you die, would it have mattered that you lived?
Yeah, powerful. When you die, would it have mattered when you lived? It's just living each day with meaning, with purpose. Just live each day with purpose.
Yeah, each day.
So we'll save Donna for last. How about that? So I'll go now. And if it's important, then act like it is. Right? If it's important, then make sure that it's urgent, that you take actions. Because at the end of the day, this thing called life is not a joke. And in life, you will come up with a lot of highs and lows, twists and turns, and you end up in places sometimes you never expected to end up. You never thought you would. But guess what? From wherever you are, you must grow. There's that saying, grow where you're planted. So we're not about making excuses. Say, oh my God, this is where I am. I can't do anything. I'm stuck. This is where I am, and this is where I'm going to build and grow from. So, yes, we end up in some places where we see them as safe havens, and we say, I'm going to stay there, and so forth, so forth. And it's okay to stay there while you rebuild and regain your strength, right? However, don't stay too long. Know what your life is all about, who you are. And then that's why we're talking about building a legacy. And a year from now, we should all recognize the change, the achievements, the accomplishments, just by looking and observing each other. And that's my piece.
Oh, and I guess it's Donna's turn now. So, of course, I agree with everything that you all said. One thing I do want to add to it is that telling your story is not for you. It's for the person who needs your story so that they can heal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in a dark place now and you feel, and I'm speaking to our audience now, if you're in a dark place and you feel like you're hopeless and things are just not going the way it ought to go, know that that's where you're supposed to be at this particular time, because you need to tell that story, because someone else is in that dark place and they're going to need your word of encouragement. They're going to need your words of how you've come out of this place and how you've fought the odds, so that they too can be encouraged to move forward, right? So as we're building our legacy and as we're being intentional about the things that we are doing, remember that building our legacy is not also for our families or our friends. It's for the people who we don't know.
Right.
That's going to be impacted by the life that we're living and how we're touching them. And that's all I have to share with y'all this evening. And thank you all so much for having me. I so appreciate it.
Thank you for having us, Ms.
You will be back. You will be back. And another, I want to extend an invitation over the internet to Hilda to join us in the spotlight or on this program. So Hilda, I know you're with us. You reach out to me, send me a message, let me know your availability so we can get you on. And really appreciate you and your joining the conversation today through your messages and so forth and your comments. Really appreciate that. So important. And if you're watching us, please share the broadcast, share the replay, because as Donna said, this is not all about you. It's for those out there, those other individuals out there who need to hear what you're saying. So your experience may just be because you need to experience it so you can say it, so others can learn from it. So Donna, that was well said, and trying to bring Xavier back. He's back on. So Juan, can you take us out, close us out for the night, please?
Absolutely, y'all. We appreciate y'all for joining us tonight. Matter of fact, we should just call y'all co-hosts, because y'all are on with us every week. It's the same day, same time every week. We look forward to it so we can do this together. That's what this is all about, just building community. Look, we are bridging generations through the voices and stories and experiences of so many unsung heroes. And so we thank you for joining us. And remember, as Doc said, life is a journey, not a destination. Live it and live it to the fullest. Y'all have a good evening.
Peace.
Bye.
Thank you. We'll take it out with which one we're going to take it out with, Donna?
Let's do Shella. I love
it. Say Shella.
Play Shella.
Top star
from Jamaica. This is Sheila Topstar. Tonight I will be performing one of my latest single entitled Far. Yeah. Now, this song is a reflection of my life. However, I believe that this song can also be a reflection of your life. Enjoy. Far me I come from, and me know where me I go. Far me I come from, and me know where me I go. Me see the aim, me a navigate to success. Working smart, no rest. Me a see the progress. Want to achieve, so me give it my best. Me a do my thing now, watch no one else. Some of them a stay up thought they were my friends. Smile with me, but I meet them against them. Want to set up my life and my journey end. You know me, I am far as a winner, me no know about failure. I feel make it big, I feel make it major. Stacking up the currency paper. Far me I come from, I me know where me I go. Far me I come from, I me know where me I go. Now last me way now, cause me know where me I go. Far me I come from, I me know where me I go. Me know me I go, cause me know me I come from. Where me I come from, dark like dungeon. Some say me not go nowhere, that's why my son